I want to also now bring in political analyst T.S. Sudhir, who tracks very closely what's happening in Telangana. Sudhir, good evening. You know, over the weekend, we've seen so many updates coming in, but in the assembly, what stood out is really Chief Minister Revanth Reddy's speech after what Akbaruddin Owaisi had said. And many are now questioning what led to Chief Minister Revanth Reddy being so harsh on Allu Arjun, and many questioning whether he has a bone to pick with Allu Arjun. What do you make of all these narratives?
Well, I mean, of course, there are many conspiracy theories going around as to why did the Chief Minister really lash out at Allu Arjun and the entire Telugu film industry by extension. But what it has done is to really expose the fault lines between the Telugu film industry and the Telangana government. Of course, the opposition parties like the BRS criticizing, saying that there was really no need when the entire matter is sub judice, there was really no need for the Chief Minister, who is also incidentally the Home Minister of the state, to actually place his point of view on the floor of the House, saying that this is what has been done wrong by Allu Arjun on that night of December 4 at Sandhya Theatre in Hyderabad. But definitely what has happened is that after the Chief Minister spoke in the Assembly, after Akbaruddin Owaisi leveled those allegations against Allu Arjun holding a press conference around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock that night and trying to deny all that was said by the Chief Minister, that seemed to have made the matter much worse, and that's the result what led to the entire fracas outside Allu Arjun's house yesterday evening, and that seems to have worsened the relations between the Telangana government and the Telugu film industry, mainly Allu Arjun. Apart from that, the entire show the previous weekend, when a lot of film stars actually came and called on Allu Arjun at his residence, the entire thing was beamed live by many media houses, which was taken on the launch of that house. That seems to have given an impression that, you know, Allu Arjun was trying to project himself as a victim, having spent the night at the Chantalguda Central Prison, and that seems to have rubbed the powers that be in the Telangana government the wrong way, saying that they are not the victim. The victim is Revathi, 35-year-old, and her son, who is battling for his life at KIMS Hospital in Hyderabad.
You know, while we saw an aggressive Revanth Reddy speaking, Sudhir, equally unprecedented is the likes of Allu Arjun actually holding these kind of press conferences, one after another, a few days apart. He's coming out constantly and feeling the need to speak out, to defend himself. What do you make of that? You know, the message seems to be that nobody's going to back off here. They're defending themselves to the hilt.
Well, with apology to Chetan Bhagat, if Allu Arjun were to write a book now, he would also call it the 3 mistakes of my life. Because the first mistake was to have gone to Sandhya Theatre when permission had been denied by the local inspector of that police station, which looks after the RTC crossroads where Sandhya Theatre is located. The second mistake was not to have exited the theatre when the police officials reportedly told him to exit because a stampede had taken place outside and it could be problematic if he were to leave after the entire movie got over. Of course, Allu Arjun has a different take on it, saying that he left the theatre almost immediately. The third was to have retorted to the Chief Minister's comments because it seemed like he was taking on the Telangana government in that way. So all this has created this kind of an ego battle between the Telangana government and the Telugu film industry. What the Telangana government says is that they had actually extended a lot of incentives to Pushpa 2. They had allowed them to host this premiere show that night on the 4th of December, for which the ticket prices incidentally would have been 944 rupees, 800 rupees plus GST. They had also allowed them to hike the price of the ticket, 100 rupees for the lower stall, 150 rupees for other sections, and 200 rupees in the case of multiplexes. So they believe that they have actually given a lot of help to the Telugu film industry. But when it came to actually extending help to the victim, the Telugu film industry instead chose to stand by Allu Arjun instead of with the boy who is battling for his life at the hospital.
You know, very often when you at least look at it in almost every other state where there is, you know, an active film industry, there's always a very, very cordial relationship between the state government and the film industry, almost like a give and take relationship. In this particular case, things have completely soured there. So then going forward, how do you see things moving? Do you think that this is the government taking on Allu Arjun, or as you say, this is the government taking on the Telugu film industry's might?
Well, there have been a few precedents in the sense that when that entire demolition drive was started, the N convention, which is owned by actor Nagarjuna, that was demolished. And that was really the first incident which kind of soured relations between a prominent film star and the Chief Minister himself. then comes this entire Allu Arjun episode. I wouldn't say it's the entire film industry which Revanth Reddy seems to be against right now. But definitely it has broken relations between the Telugu film industry and the Telangana government, and it would take some time for them to repair that. Remember, it is also the Andhra government which is actively wooing the Telugu film industry. They are saying that we will lay out the red carpet, you come and set up base in Visakhapatnam. So they do have offers from the Andhra Pradesh side. But Telangana government wouldn't really want the Telugu film industry to go. The same film industry was actively wooed when the BRS was in power for 9.5 years. But in the last 1 year, and more specifically since August, things seem to have gone from bad to worse. And it is for the cinematography ministry, it is for the chief minister's office and the representatives of the Telugu film industry to sit together and see that how we can move beyond this entire episode and try to put it behind them. Because the Telangana government, in the past, whether it be BRS or even the Congress to a large extent, has been supportive of the Telugu film industry, and it would be very bad optics if members of the Telugu film industry choose to set up base in Andhra Pradesh as well, as almost like a second option. That wouldn't be very good news for brand Hyderabad as far as Telugu film industry is concerned.
Very, very true. You know, if you talk about the demolition case, there was a superstar concern there also that the government took on. This case also, you're talking about, again, a very, very popular superstar like Allu Arjun that Chief Minister Revanth Reddy is taking on. So we'll see really how this plays out, particularly considering the case is also sub judice while you're seeing all of this back and forth. Thanks very much, Sudhir, for joining us, as always, with your perspective and your analysis of what's playing out right now in Telangana.